Audio on Instagram, wait, Twitter and Instagram, whatever. And yeah, his entire page is just dedicated to being cool, being an alpha male, and putting down women while trying to convince everybody how cool he is. But babe, we can see you. We can see you with our eyes. So in the comments section,
What's up, guys? Another episode of The Nuke Stream. Today we're going to be talking about what do you have to lose when it comes to dating? Uh, and this seems to be where a lot of guys kind of tell on themselves. I want to say tell on themselves, where they kind of reveal to you what they're struggling with in terms of ROI, whether it's fake or not, the reasons they tell themselves, and most importantly, their fears. And the question that we're all running from, or the thing that we're all running from as men, that really is the real reason most guys give up on dating and all that stuff. But I'm here to tell you that I'm not here to convince you to do it or not. I'm here to give you the right information so you can make a better decision. And when I say right information, I don't mean some statistic. Who cares about statistics, right? I don't care. I don't mean some religious reason or some political reason why you should date or something like that. I'm gonna I'm here to reveal that you are playing the game whether you like it or not, right? If you are alive and you have testosterone, you are playing the game whether you like it or not, right? So that's pretty much today's show in a nutshell. It's gonna be trying to shape reality around you of what it actually is, why you actually still uh why a lot of men, not you guys, but a lot of men don't want to date or feel like the ROI is low. And I'm here to tell you that I can see why. Like, because I'm a man and I spend money, or I used to spend money on dates, and there were days where I'm like, what am I doing? I could have used this money for something else. I could use my time for something else. And we're gonna get into that. Give me 1 second, guys. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. And the thing is, guys, this is not me. This is not a show about me harping on you guys and telling that you guys are crazy for wanting to take a break or not wanting to. You're not crazy for that. It is understandable. Like, I'm never gonna look at a man that has decided not to date and think that he's an insane person. No, I'm not. That's not what I'm trying to get at here. For me, it's more like the men that say they give up, but there's this endless thing of complaints. Because if you really give up on something, then it's not your problem anymore. You've moved on. It's not. There's better things to do. You don't have to waste time talking about it anymore. You don't have to waste time giving your opinion on it or whatever. It's like the same thing with like women that are feminists online complaining, and they're just like, "Hey, men are this, men are that." I'm like, you gave up on men, and sure, but you're still talking about it on the internet constantly. You constantly have opinions on men, opinions on dating, opinions on everything, how men should be, and you still care. You still care deeply because you're still giving your opinion and trying to get a point across about your experiences with men. You're still in the game, and you just hate the fact that the game isn't being played the way you want it to be played. So that's what we're here to talk about. Trying to help us work through why we think the ROI is not worth it and giving credence, because some of these reasons are good reasons, but there is no escaping your nature. You're not above your nature as a person. So, yeah. Yo, I was on a date tonight. Got a question. Yeah, if you could just like, I can't stop the show. Like, if you would like to ask your question, leave it for the end or super chat, and I'll take care of it. But usually at the end, I do a Q&A and all that stuff. But for right now, I got to stay on track. So, unless you super chat, then I can address it. But all right, let's see. Let me. So this today we're gonna be. This is based on my Substack article on my latest one. No, no, no. One of my latest ones. This is Substack article number 86. I'll put it in the chat here. Um, Here you go. Wait, no, that's the wrong link. Crap. Give me 1 second. Whoop. There we go. All right, just messing with the link here. All right, here we go. So that's gonna be what today's show is based on. It's gonna be based on that article, and then obviously I'm gonna have more input and all that. So it all starts, guys, is that there is a set of rules that you thought you could follow, a really safe guideline you could follow to get what you want out of women. Work hard, be successful. Depends on the culture, depends sometimes even on the family, depends on area of the world, whatever. You were taught a certain set of rules that you have to be in order to get a woman's intimacy from women, whether it be for a one night stand, whether it be for a family and kids. You were taught this and you went by it. You just listened faithfully, like, hey, if I do this, I will get something out of it. And despite several women along your way not rewarding you, whether on the front end or the back end, for this sacrifice or for this way of thinking, aka the blue pill way of thinking, you decided that no, it was the women that are wrong. Those particular women, those individual women, are the ones that are wrong, not you. You were right. The women were wrong. There was only two women that broke your heart. But then you see it happen to your friends, and then you see it happen to you again, and then you start the statistics. Even though I'm not big on statistics, but you start seeing that everything kind of like the facade is starting to crumble in front of our own very eyes. The red pill was never meant to go mainstream, but it's there's so much information transfer and so much memes and so much videos and accounts and all that are kind of all feeling one singular thing, and that the rules are not working, the guidelines are not working. So you see it at every level. Like most of us, at least us older than 30, kind of know that bringing flowers to a woman on a first date is a terrible idea. And it's almost creepy, if not fully creepy to women. And yet, months ago, I saw there was a guy who went super viral on X where he had a bouquet of roses and he was going to give it to her date. And the internet made fun of him for it. But this is the interesting thing, because the internet will make fun of you for anything. He gave the flowers to her, showed a picture like, hey, and the guys and the woman were like completely divided on how he saw this. Yes, there was like, I think this famous female comedian and all that kind of like schooled him on it, but for the most part, men and women kind of like completely different. So on the women were like, oh, that's such a sweet thing. Why can't more guys be like this? If you think this is simpy or dumb, you're part of the problem, right? The shaming language, all that. While the men are just like, poor guy, he has to learn the hard way. And you see that divergence in terms of men and women, how they think about these acts, the rules, because the rules said, hey, be nice to women, give them stuff, and they will reward you. And that's a big covert contract men have, and it's really destructive to their lives. So that's what you were taught. And every year, us that kind of know the rules, the new rules, the updated rules, we see guys continue to try to make the old rules work. And when you're so ego invested in your blue pill ways that of course you're going to get hurt. Part of what in any story, what makes uh, a good protagonist is especially when they try to believe, like when they have to come to grips with their own failing a belief system, which happens a lot in a lot of movies, is they have a wound, like something that hurt them, and a lie they believe. And that lie could change, but like in this scenario, the lie that they believe is that if you're a good little man, if you're a good man, they will get rewarded in life because of the employer. Their employer will reward them. Their friends, girls, women, wife, whatever, they all get rewarded because you're a good person. And that's the basis of Christianity is reward based on I'm a good person. And it's no shock that when people who think like that finally see the game for what it is, they are hurt. Because they're so ego invested in this thought. This thought that if I sacrifice more, if I give more, if I do more, it's more masculine, it's better, it's awesome. And you get and what do you get in return? Nothing. But they still think, no, the privilege is being good. Like they've convinced themselves. Suicidal empathy is what I like to call it. And they'll do it forever. They do this on a countrywide level. Men are allowing women and other people that shouldn't be in office to do whatever they want all the time. And then we look back and we wonder, how did this happen? I'm like, well, suicidal empathy. Like you put yourself last. Essentially, you set yourself on fire just to keep others warm. And that is how we got into this mess. Men were designed to worship women. That's who we are. That's our genetics. We can't help it. We can work around it. We can give ourselves time to process when you have a situation where it requires you putting yourself last and someone else first. You can think, you have time. But in for the most part, you're constantly fighting that biology. And look where it got us. So give yourself time to think about things, why you do things. When you're setting up a date where you want to buy dinner for a girl that you don't even know, that doesn't even know you deserve, like that probably doesn't even, she hasn't earned your time and money like that. Think, sit down. Why am I doing this? Oh, because the rules are no rule. There is no rule that says you have to spoil women that you don't know, that haven't earned it. But you were taught that. So what happens? That turns into bitterness because these rules stop working. And there is nowhere for that bitterness to go because you can't blame women. First of all, if they don't care, they're not going to change. You can blame your fellow man and be like, "Oh, it's the simps' fault for giving women attention and all that stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, well, they're not going to stop doing it." Yes, men, we are like Dr. Frankenstein. We created Frankenstein's monster by giving women unmerited attention, money, and we fight to the death. Men will trip over themselves just to run to give women money and gifts and free stuff. We can't help it, apparently, as a gender. It's pretty pathetic, but we'll do it. We'll fight to the very end. So right now, um, these guys get their beliefs tested against reality. It doesn't work. They spend years sexless, heartbroken, angry. So they give up. And they give up. And here's the thing. They don't give up the old way of thinking. That's the sad part. They give up trying to make the old way of thinking work. You see what I'm saying? They still believe women should like them because they bring a paycheck to the table. They still think women should like them because they have morals and honor. They still think women should like them because they are a patriot and love their country. But women do not care about that stuff. No matter how much you talk about it, no matter how much you go to church, I say this, and this is from Whisper on the Red Pill Reddit. He used to say that your devotion is worthless to women. And that's a scathing, scathing statement to men because men are addicted to giving their sacrifice to others. It is our number one addiction, putting ourselves last and giving, sacrificing to others. And I tell you, it's a sedation. Like we're always talking about pornography, and we're always talking about video games. And we're always talking about drugs. That's not men's number one addiction. Men's number one addiction in life is sacrificing for nothing or near to nothing in return. And it's hard to break that. When you ask a guy what he wants out of life, he's going to look at you like like you're crazy. What do you mean, what do I want? Yeah, like what do you want to do? Well, I want a wife and kids. I'm like, no, no, no. What do you want to do that doesn't involve anyone else? And then that's when they're like, I've never thought of it. Yeah, because your addiction to making everyone else happy, to pouring in everyone else's cup but your own, you know, is never allowed you to ask that question. So here you are, right? Excuse me. Um, you must sacrifice yourself to the gynocracy. This is what determines your worth as a man. I'll sacrifice. Yeah, exactly. It's nothing. It gets you nowhere. So many are still waiting for their new beginning, their birth by sleep. Yeah, that's a quote that I got from the Kingdom Hearts game, Birth by Sleep, which is the prequel to the Kingdom Hearts series. And essentially, it reads like a Greek tragedy because you know the ending. And it's a tragic ending, but you just want to see how the events play out, right? It's like the story of Oedipus. It's a Greek tragedy. But in that video game, Kingdom Hearts, or in essence, the the several protagonists of the game, they end up losing pieces or parts of themselves, and they have to fall asleep or just go into a stasis in order and be saved by someone else. And the reason I like that quote a lot is because in order to get your new beginning, your new red pill awakening, right? You have to go back to sleep. You can't keep living and acting in the way you do. You need to fall back. You need to go into almost a dreamlike state and study this stuff and look at everything from a different angle. You may not, you may go through such a change, right? That it's like you woke up from a slumber once you wake up from get your red pill awakening. So that's why I like that quote. But yes, that is from Kingdom Hearts. Uh, yeah, key line biking spitting. How Japanese has been based this whole time. Yeah, but I mean, I think it's Nomura. Nomura is he overcomplicates stories, and he loves adding time travel and parallel universes and all that stuff and separate worlds. So Kingdom Hearts is really hard to follow and understand. So not that they're base, it's just they overcomplicate stories. That's my only issue with a lot of like writing for animes and Japanese video games. It's just I wish they would keep it simple, but I'm just one guy. Who cares about my opinion? But yeah, back to the topic. So the topic is essentially, why is it worth dating? Is it worth going out there? And then yes, but it won't be worth dating if you follow the old rules. And this channel is about dating and in the red pill lens. So if you think that you can keep doubling down on the old order thinking, it will get you nowhere. You will, of course, you don't think dating is worth it because in your mind, like I said before, you have given up on making your old order thinking work on women. However, you still haven't given up on old order thinking. You use the word should a lot. Women should like me because I'm a provider. Women should like me because I am this, or I make six figures. Women should like me because of this or that or this, but they don't. But you keep thinking that they should. So you're mad and you're spinning your tires over and over again. Of course you don't think dating is worth it because you're bringing you, there's a hammer and there's a nail, but you keep trying to use a screwdriver to get that nail in. I'm like, no, we're not using that method to secure a piece of wood to another piece of wood. We're using the hammer now. And you're just like, no, I want to use a screwdriver. And I'm like, okay, well, good luck trying to get this done. It'll take you forever to nail four things with a screwdriver. So that's essentially how it is. You're using the wrong set of tools and you don't want to let go of your tools that you hold near and dear that you grew up with to use the new improved stuff that works better. So of course you're going to hate nailing and building a coffee table. You're going to hate it. You're going to quit. Even though someone here is going to be like, hey, dude, use this hammer. It's better. And you're like, no, hammers, that's for degenerates. I use a screwdriver. I've always used a screwdriver. My father used a screwdriver. My grandfather used a screwdriver. I'm like, hey, dude, like it's gonna take you forever to, finish that coffee table. You may hurt yourself, or you might get a little bitter, trying to get it together, and it's probably gonna be a little shoddy at best. And you're like, F you. Who do you think you are? All my forefathers used a screwdriver. I'm like, okay, cool. And that's it. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. So, yeah. Um, it's knocking the blue blue pill, sorry, lens off of a guy. It takes a lot. Guys will hold on to their blue pill beliefs and dating and all that stuff for very tightly. It's an ego investment. It's an identity. It is who you are. You are that type of guy. You don't want to be a PUA guy that talks to women and gets rejected. That's degenerate. You don't want to be a guy that plays women. What will your friends think and your family? You want to get married early and make your family proud. You want to do all these things to make sure that they're never unhappy, not even considering your own happiness or what you feel. It's not until they get what's called the zeroing out, where their belief system no longer holds to the real world outside of them. This could be in the form of divorce, being fired, betrayed. Usually it's divorce or a breakup or something, usually caused by a woman, is when they realize like, hey, I lost everything. And at first, they're going to have their red pill rage face where it's just like, hey, I don't like women. Women hurt me. I have a wound. And yeah, maybe a couple of years they're gonna be thinking that. And then one day, they're gonna be like, "Hey, I need to do something about this because women are everywhere, and I still want to have sex with them, and I hate the fact that I want to have sex with them, but I do. So I have to fix this. I can't just be a victim forever. Yes, I was hurt. Yes, it was her fault, but I have to keep. I have needs. So they figure it out and they realize one thing, and that's, hey, they have to um they have to talk to women, but it cannot be with the old order thinking. And that's really how you get to the next step. You have to abandon your beliefs from before. You have to abandon your beliefs or else you won't make it. You cannot pay or nice your way or talk your way into sex. Never. You can't do that. So because of this, you have to, update your program, your firmware. So again, your devotion is worthless to women. Women do not need your money. They'll take it. If you throw it at them like, "Please, let me take you on a date. Please take this money. Please take this gift. Please take this trip. Please take these nails that I paid for you." Yeah, they're going to take it. Like it's almost like you're pressuring them into it. But it doesn't mean much to them because any guy can give it to them. And there's plenty of guys that will be more than happy to provide for a girl that they barely even know. So what do you get out of it, you know? Um, let me see. Okay, so I write here, though there are biological reasons men are sacrificial and tend to worship women, they are the more vulnerable sex, so we're wired to protect them. Men fear ostracization. I hate saying that word. Ostracization. Ah, Jesus Christ. In the modern age. It takes a lot more for men to be selfish. We're human. We want to appeal to as many people as possible to stay safe. Most modern movies told us that the evil outcasts were always sexually forward, womanizing guys, or at best the comic relief, rather rather than the happy, accomplished men whose competence and charm just bled into getting um, women, like a James Bond type. And that's all men see. Guys who are successful with women are either the Glenn Quagmires and Barney Stinsons of the world. You know, like Glenn Quagmire is like the degenerate kind of comic relief, not to be taken too seriously, and Barney Stinson as well, like from How I Met Your Mother, or they're like either that or it's like international playboy spies like James Bond. So, you as a regular guy, it's not your place to be good with women or have fun with women. A regular guy could never learn game like the creeps, like the Glenn Quagmires of the world, or like James Bond. It's either or. It's like those are the only two personas. You got to be either so awesome that everything you say just rolls off as smooth and all that, or you got to be an absolute degenerate where you just lie to women and hurt them. And then we had the pickup artist. The pickup artist didn't really help the image of of players, guys that were good with women. Um, so PUAs did a lot of work. They've done more for evolutionary psych than all science and research combined. They put in so much work. So I write here the PUAs took to the streets and went from average men to slaying poon on the regular. Their work was invaluable to red pill praxology and the future guys who just want to get laid. But the marketing was terrible. And here's the problem. Another reason guys give up, right? And this is what I'm getting into now, is that they're afraid of being isolated because they don't want to be seen as someone who goes out there and talks to multiple women and is sexually successful. To them, they feel like that's bad. Again, the programming, right? That's bad. That enjoying women, even though they're consenting, even though some of them know that you're probably sleeping with other women too, fully aware. Um, yeah. So the PUAs didn't help with this image because the feather boas, and if you read the book The Game, that there's mental breakdowns in there. They were just weird birds in there. So guys associate womanizing with being weird, and every player in history was like comic relief too. So that's their programming. Glenn Quagmire, Barney Stinson, even Fresh Prince, even though he was a cool guy, every interaction he had with women, right, was comical. It was a comic relief, right? So all in all, and he was a goofy character. He was goofy but lovable. He wasn't to be taken seriously. Um, and all that. There have been instances where, in the media where the player archetype is kind of respected, but it's only when it's being done on one woman. Like for example, Steve Urkel, when he transforms into Stefan, in the show Family Matters, he essentially he only has like spits game and lays it on the girl. So he is smooth as hell, but it's like towards one girl, and that's the difference. You very rarely see a guy in media and popular media who's a player or good with women, also like respected and slaying multiple women, and like he's still the a protagonist taken seriously and a pretty awesome dude. It doesn't happen very often. So yeah. So here we are. What is a guy to do? If you learn this stuff, you might be seen as a weirdo too, and that's what we're talking about. They don't want to be seen as a weird guy. Being a player, PUA, whatever you call it, has bad PR. That's all it is. Your your needs don't matter. Sorry. You might be seen as a weirdo too. You might be isolated from society. Hell, you might even devolve into the famed incel class and lose all your charisma and experience points, right? Because like one thing about the internet is like the more successfully successful you are, the more likely you'll be called an incel on the internet. Can you believe that? It's like very paradoxical, right? You got to be careful with that, brass heathen. You can get hurt. So be careful out there, man. Just goes to show how many blue pill male writers are in TV, Hollywood, and comics. All the more reason to pivot into fiction. In other words, we need more positive identity out there. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I just watch anime now. I don't watch any more shows outside of the programming. Um, it's written by guys that believe that having multiple women is bad. It's morally incorrect. So, yeah, can't do it. Well, and the thing is, so here's the ultimate one of the big points here. And the big point here is you may think that doing these things is going to make you weird and no one's going to like you and they're going to be like they're going to question your morality and you're basically you're fearing isolation. You want to be accepted, you don't want to be associated with that. Um but the truth is, guys, you're already isolated. You already have been put on the end of society. No one cares about you. No one. No one's worried about you. No one cares that you're a good person. So why are you still holding on to this belief that you'll eventually get rewarded for being good? Obviously, when I say good, I mean, puts other people ahead of him, tries to do good by others, and expects something in return. There's always going to be people that once they find out your lifestyle, if you're dumb enough to telegraph it, they're going to not like it, right? But for the most part, you're already isolated. No one cares about your needs. What was this election decided on it ultimately? And for every election from here on out, whether women could get you know what. And that's a very powerful social statement because women care so little about what we want that they still seek more power in controlling our like the outcome of that, you know. Why do you think you still matter in any of this? You're already isolated. Nobody cares. What do you have to lose? And then we're gonna talk about time and money and all that stuff. But what do you really have to lose? Like, who are you qualifying to? Who cares if you sleep with two women in 1 week? Like, obviously, there's people with religious convictions. I respect that. But outside of that, who cares? Nobody cares that you're good. No one cares that you're bad. You are alone. Yes, you have your friends and all that stuff, but like they don't even care either. They just want to see you and hang out with you and share time with you. So what are we doing? You are already isolated. So, um, society doesn't care about you, only your sacrifice. Your needs don't matter. And the faster you accept that, the faster you realize that playing by the rules won't get your needs met. And what's more, even if you get what you wanted, society still wouldn't care. You're not that important, and that's the beauty of it. And that's the thing, guys. If you're bringing women up to your apartment, yeah, your neighbors would be like, "Oh, that guy saw him with another girl," blah blah blah, right? But for the most part, everyone is in their own bubble, everyone is in their own world trying to figure out life, and you're here worried about what if someone finds out about who I am or what I do, you know? They don't care. They're too preoccupied with their own problems. So, society, men are always saying, especially the young guys, they're constantly complaining that society abandons them. They see it as a sign to give up or that life ahead will be filled with struggle, loneliness, and a dim ending. But that's actually what everyone wants you to believe. So you go back to the plantation and continue to sacrifice. So you don't have to face that grim reality. So that's just manipulation. When people do find out that you're just Slayer or you're having a good go at it with the ladies, they're going to say like things to shame you back on the plantation. Like, hey, why are you using your power, this newfound power of getting women for your own gain? And like, you're a horrible person. Um, you're gonna be alone. You're gonna die alone. You're not gonna have a family. And I'm like, what is it about you being enjoying and taking care of your sexual needs as you see fit? How does that make you a lonelier man? Who's gonna be like, I can't deal with the fact that you're happy and well fucked, bro. I can't. As a matter of fact, people like you more. And that's one of the biggest things that shocks guys when they start actually being selfish. Guys, people like the people that didn't rely on them by putting themselves last, they tend to like you more. Hey, you get more confident. You're happier. You're less resentful. You have more energy. You're more likable once you put yourself first. That's the thing that people don't understand. You're not tired because you're not constantly on the phone trying to solve other people's problems. You're probably better with women now because you put yourself first. You're a more likable person. And that's the part that guys are afraid of. They're like, "Oh, no one will like me." And I'm like, "No, dude. People will like you more, I promise. The more selfish you are." Now, is it to the point selfish where you screw over your coworkers and stuff? Like, yeah, there's a limit, right? We want to cooperate as human beings. But what I'm saying is, when I say selfish, I mean in terms of, hey, um, you don't sacrifice endlessly and put yourself last all the time, 24/7. Sometimes you got to be like, hey, this person needs a favor. They did me a favor. Let me help them out. Or hey, this person has a limitation, and I got like, you may have a girlfriend and the girlfriend is stuck somewhere, her tire popped or she has engine trouble or whatever, her battery died. Women are terrible at solving car problems. So you're like, okay, well, she's limited. She's limited by her gender. So the gender she is, so I go help. That's not like sacrifice. And that's just like, hey, it's life. As a man, and man, as a man, I feel good solving people's problems from time to time. However, it's like if she has a lot of debt or loves to spend money frivolously and she's constantly coming to you for more money or to pay her bills, even though she can't, she's spending money on stupid stuff on Amazon or something. That's what I'm talking about. So, yeah. So, um, life only gets better for men, but only if you get over your feel of isolation and start talking about taking care of your sexual needs your way within reason. Um, I think one of the inflection points or one of the important points of a guy who's finally unplugging and starts dating in earnest is that he has sex with two women in a very short period of time. Let's say with a week, right? Whereas back in the day, he only had sex once a month with his wife, or once a month, twice a year. In general, he wasn't attractive. He was single, and then they get out there and they start, they have sex with two different women within, let's say, a week. And he looks at himself, he looks at the mirror, and he's like, "What am I becoming?" But here's what happens in that scenario. He goes to work. He notices he's in a better mood. He feels very confident, right? Because confidence builds. You're awesome at work, and then you're awesome with the ladies. You're like doubly confident now. You go home. You go to the gym. One of the girls texts you, "Can I see you again?" Or "Hey, thanks." Okay, no, yeah, let's do it. Or yeah, you're welcome. Whatever. Life didn't really change. The only thing that changed is that you're happier now. You're taken care of. Like, obviously, if it was up to us, man, we'd be having sex with a new girl every day. But two's not bad. Two in a week is not bad. So it's actually pretty awesome. It's much more than the average man can ever dream of. Two women. And obviously it takes work, but once you have sex with two different women in a short period of time, it changes men because they're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Oh no, I'm gonna get judged. My neighbor saw me. Oh, the girls are gonna find out about each other. Oh, I'm gonna catch an STD. Oh, I'm gonna lose my ability to pair bond. Oh, I'm going to whatever it is. I'm gonna get accused of something. And then you realize weeks go by, you see one again, maybe you see another chick, a different chick. Weeks go by, nothing happens, and you're happy. You're happy. You're like, what the hell? I'm like, yeah, your whole life. You thought that if you were selfish and put yourself first and took care of your needs, made your happiness your own problem, that you're a bad person. But here you are, no one cares. Your mom still called you and said, hey, I'm just worried about you. Just make sure you call me. Um, your boss still thinks you're a cool guy and relies on you, you know? Your health is still good. You're still going to life didn't really change that much, except now you're happy, a little bit happier, maybe 5% happier because you got your sexual needs taken care of. And you have some girls that kind of like you for who you are. So it's like, wow, nice. Take care of those who have your back and take care of you. Yep. It's putting yourself first. Yep. Nah, these women want me to be their bull. There's no way that I would be able to get at their friends. She got all pissed off when I wasn't down for that. Yeah, that's crazy. But anyways, let's take a quick break, guys. And we'll move on. All right. So we've been talking more about the moral aspect of what happens when you date. Um, let's talk about the other half that guys kind of talking about. That's the money and time. Time is gonna pass anyway. And first off, if it comes to like, oh, I could use my time for something better, I find it hard to believe that every waking moment of your life, you're using your time to its utmost potential. Like you're hustling, making money 24/7 from 7 a.m. that you wake up till 11 p.m. at night. You are constantly working. So don't come to me with the, oh, it's a waste. Like I don't have the time and all that. Um, you're not gonna be super productive all the time, 24/7. It's just that's not a thing. So I just don't believe that. Yes, it's time consuming, but it doesn't consume that much time. Uh, usually dates that are go well, 2.5 hours. By 2.5 hours of you spitting games, trading stories, and having drinks, she's ready. She's made up her mind. Either she's gonna sleep with you or she's not. That's not terrible amount of time. Right? We spend that much time on our phones on average. So time isn't that big a deal, right? I know like there's gonna be periods of your life where you need to focus because of maybe work or maybe you have a you need to be there for your family. Like you just don't have the mental energy. And that's another thing, energy. Um, guys that get laid a lot, I'll share one thing, and that's they're tired. I get it. You're gonna be staying up late because women text you at weird hours sometimes. You're gonna be happy. Um, Sorry, happy. You're gonna be tired because, some sex takes a lot out of you sometimes, right? When you're having sex at 12 a.m. when you got work in the morning, you're probably gonna go to bed around 1. You're probably gonna sleep well, but it's just not the same. You're gonna have to drink some from time to time. That sucks, right? But again, you don't have to go all in. You can just have one date once in a while. But yes, it is an energy drain. I get that. And being around women in general is an energy drain. Where women don't energize a state. They're energy vampires. So, um, yeah, don't think for a second that uh it's not an energy drain. However, it's the cost. You don't get a girl to just knock on your like here's the problem. I respect guys that deal with this problem by just doing the transactional route, like the pay for play. But don't but because they understand all these things the whole time, but you know what they ultimately understand? That they have a need. Guys that don't understand that their needs are their own biology or how important sex is to them or try to deny it, they're the ones that are the most angry. They're like, "Oh, women are not I'm gonna give up on dating." I'm like, "So what are you gonna do for your sex? Not only sex, what are you gonna do for your like, you have needs outside of sex that are part of the equation of getting laid is, like, a woman liking you. Do you Are you okay? Like, do you need a woman to like you don't need a woman to like you from time to time and think you're cool and, like, give you compliments and, you know, kinda, like, ravish you of the bed a little bit? You don't need that? Like, you're running away from that? Nah, it's not worth the time. I'm like, "Dude." But, guys, the rejection, the constant rejection, all that stuff. In terms of money, this is what we're here for the money. Like, I'm not here to tell you spend money on women. I'm here to tell you here's how you spend the smallest amount of possible while still getting laid. And if we're gonna talk money, of course, I already wrote about this. One of my first articles. The wine date is the cheapest date ever, most bang for your buck. And why is that? Well, usually wine places are classier, so there's not gonna be loud and boisterous. Right? So you're gonna be able to have a conversation, so that's problem solved. A bottle of wine is like 35 bucks. Boom, between the both of you, and, like, women with 2 glasses of wine are tipsy enough to be, relaxed, and wine really relaxes you, and it relaxes women are full of anxiety, tired, wound up from work, so the wine takes care of all that. Cool. Um, 35 bucks. Maybe you want a tip, 45. But, wow, what a cheap date, and it's classy. It just seems classy. So, um, this is what we're here for. To trade notes, we're like, this is the point of the red pill, guys. It's not to make you do anything you don't want to do. It's to acknowledge, hey, dude, you love big tits. You're gonna have to see big tits once in a while in order to be happy as a man. Obviously, there are men that are monks, there are men that go long periods, but most of us need to see naked women from time to time in front of us to be happy and enjoy them. And they want to be enjoyed. That's literally one of their favorite thing is to be enjoyed by men. Um, and you can run from it. You can give up, but don't say it's because you didn't have the right information. I know it's hard to get to a channel like this because of all the noise out there, but I tried and tested. I know you guys may not believe me sometimes. Maybe some of you don't believe me. You think I'm full of shit. But I've tried and tested a lot of this stuff. And I'm telling you that that's what we're here for. We're not here to make you do anything you don't want. We're not here to tell you you're a quitter. You're not. We're here to trade notes so we can solve this problem and live life every one of you on your terms. Not what I want, but what you want. This can help you. You want a wife? The wine date theory applies. You want just to have sex? The wine date theory applies. Because if you want a wife, you have to have sex with women. And if you want to have sex with women, you got to have sex with women. So it's like it all stems from here, right? So that's what we're here for. I'm not here to tell you that you're lazy and you're shitty that giving up is a bad thing and you're a bad person. No, I'm here to tell you like, hey, in case you're giving up, based on wrong information. I want you to make sure you have the right information. That way you can make a better decision on how you're going to deal with women. You see what I'm saying? And that's the big difference. I don't want you to quit based on bad information. I want you to quit if you're going to based on good information. Um, yeah. I don't think women like you is a need though. You just said that they don't care about us anyway. Yeah, as a whole, they don't care. But like when you're on one-on-one on a date or you're dealing with a woman in a social circle, wherever, you want the woman to kind of like you. The best dances, salsa dances that I do with women are women that crush on me because they just melt into my hands. They know I'm in a relationship, so there's always that barrier, but they just melt into my hands and they let me lead so easily. I almost pick them up and everything because, you know. So, um, yeah, you need certain girls to like you. The girls that you deal with, you want a girl to be, into you. It doesn't have to be obsessed. Like a woman being obsessed with you is kind of a headache sometimes too, right? But you just need a girl to like think you're cool. Like, yeah, cool. I wanna I wanna see him naked too. You're a pretty chill guy. I'd have sex with you. Let's have sex. Okay, thanks. You need that from time to time. You don't need it all the time. You just need the girls that you deal with to like you. And it doesn't have to be, wow, you're the most amazing thing ever. You just like that's what guys want. Like these guys are like, I want a girl to be obsessed with me. Like, dude, you don't want that. It's it's an eventuality. It's gonna happen, but it's not some kind of like nirvanic feeling that like you're gonna be like, whoa, okay. Like when you do have a girl obsessed with you, you're gonna be like, whatever, cool, sure. It's not gonna be a nirvanic feeling of like, wow, I finally reached the pinnacle of existence. No, it's just wow, cool. Awesome. And that even makes you even more attractive because she may be obsessed with you, but you're just like, yeah, whatever. And that's why she's obsessed with you in the first place. It's like full circle loop that doesn't stop. So yeah. Um New kelp, I got drunk and made out with a chick in front of a girl I'm really into. Is it over? No. The way you handle that, right, is you gotta be unapologetic. You're apologetic right now. You're like, oh no, I'm gonna get judged. That's unattractive to women, even if it may seem that if you apologize or you act apologetic, you can get the girl. That's not how women are wired. She probably saw that and was just like, wow, what a player. But if you act like nothing happened, like this is who you are, more than likely she's into you. Obviously, there's a lot of your hindrance here is her reputation because she's probably in her mind like I like him, but I don't want to be another one of his hoes. Right? That's so worry more about protecting her reputation if you still decide to talk to her. But the whole attraction thing, it happens, dude. I'm guessing you're attractive enough to get a girl to kiss you. So just own it. If she brings it up, just like, yeah, I can get like that sometimes with a smooth, straight face and continue on the conversation because that is what she's testing for. He did something crazy. What does he think about this? And then when you talk to her, she might bring it up, might not. Don't you bring it up and just own it. Be like, oh, if she brings it up, yeah, I can get like that sometimes, and then move on. And you'll be better for it. So great question, by the way. That is a great question. Thank you. Guys, if you'd like to leave a super chat and support the show, I'd appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And sign up for the Substack. $7 a month. You get 90 essays out the gate to read. $7 a month. And you have access to 90 articles, essays, whatever already. And I think that's good value. Right. It's not like I have like 3 essays and you sign up. I'm like, no, there's 90 now. Like you have plenty to read. It'll take you like a week to read all of them. Or maybe 3 days. I don't know. I don't know how much time you have, but all right, moving on. Um, okay, so we talked about money, we talked about time. Um, what else have we talked about? Insane value, way better than Jack's Substack, right, guys? Nah, Jack's Substack's pretty good. You guys got to hand it to Jack that English is not his first language, yet he writes like it's his first language. So that I've always been impressed by that. Um, so you know, English is not an easy language to write in because so many words have meanings and there's sarcasm and tone and all that stuff. Whatever, but you got to give it to him. So uh, sign up to his Substack too. I don't see why you can't both, right? What is Jack's first? It's Dutch. He's a Dutch man. So, he writes in his second language. And he does pretty well. And he streams and what can I say? I'm impressed. So, um but yeah, guys, that's we talked about the biggest gripes. And I'll pull up let's see. I'm trying to pull up a tweet where I actually tweeted this. And I'll give you the responses. Usually it's like the usual response is money, time, they're scared and all that stuff. And it's like this writer, I forgot her name, cartoons hater, right? I guess she was part of the Red Pill Women subreddit, and I mean she tries, right? She tries to understand this, and all that. And she's called my content slop. I don't like that. It makes me feel a little bit but hey, we got $6 shrimp special in the building. Oh man, this is funny. Hold on. There we go. Should I screenshot this for later? Sir, you get one of these.
Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. $6 shrimp special!
$6 shrimp special. Listen to the man, guys. I'll see y'all next week. Busy at the store. All right, man. Well, watch when you have time. I appreciate the support, though. I appreciate the $9.99. We'll leave this super chat up there until I get a new super chat. So, best clip. Yeah, the internet's full of funny clips, man. Like, yes, I know that like 30% of the internet is ads for OnlyFans girls. I know, I get it, guys. I'm tired of it too. And the thing is, like, well, yes, my monkey brain likes titty shaking in a circular motion on my screen, right? That's my monkey brain. It's just like it's exhausting. Like, why can't I have a say? And when I see this, it's like now I don't have a say anymore. Anything I look up, there's gonna be something where there's a woman trying to sell me a lifelong subscription to her pictures of her vagina. I'm just like, can I be the one that decides when I see this? And apparently we lost that ability. But the internet outside of that has some pretty funny stuff. You just have to, you have to care. You have to curate your For You page and you'll find the best memes and videos, which is tough. But hey, it's worth it. Like you get $6 from special. Like I'm so happy I found that. But um, yeah, guys, think about it like this. What do you guys think is the real reason men don't think dating is worth it? Let's be honest. Let's get out of our egos. Let's get out of like statistics. Let's get out of victimhood mentality. Why do you think men really opt out of dating? And the answer is the fear of rejection. You know that thing that's biologically programmed in us since the beginning of the inception of mankind, the fear of rejection. You know that thing that's evolves to keep us alive so we don't talk to the wrong girl and get killed. That thing, yeah, that's why men are opting out of dating. The thing is, they have to make it a moral thing because, um, yeah. So it's up to you to come to that conclusion. And we're the same. Like sometimes you're tired. Hey, why am I tired of dating? It's because running away from rejection will exhaust you more than taking it head on. Now, like Rush V said, after like 10 rejections in a small amount of time, you're gonna not want to talk, and you're like, hey, I'm done. I'm done. I'm out of here. But you running away from rejection is gonna cost you so much more time, money, and effort than taking rejection head on. I promise you. Why do you think guys stay in the friend zone? It's because they're putting off rejection for as long as possible because they cannot come to grips with the fact that the woman they're interacting with does not like them like that. They're putting it off. He could have asked her out immediately. Hey, I like you. Let's go out. And if she would have said no, it would have been done there. Moved on, better life. But no, they can't handle that rejection. So they put it off. That's the strategy. And it doesn't work very rarely. And if it does work, you get a shittier version of the woman that's now pregnant, single mom, broke, whatever, and she has to rely on you. She doesn't even like you that much. So, guys, it's really the fear of rejection. Honestly, that is like 90% of white guys don't think dating is worth it. Is because back in the day, it was like, oh, you met in college, and it was like you met drunk at a party. Like, there's not a lot of rejection in that story. But now you have to like that cute girl at the coffee shop. Hey, what are you reading? The girl at the pool, like, hey, you guys want a White Claw? I have some extras. The girl when you're walking your dog, hey, what type of dog is that? They're afraid of these interactions. It's that, guys. They're afraid. They're afraid of these interactions. They're terrified of a girl saying no. Rightfully so. It's built within you. But you're a man. You're always supposed to figure it out. No one's coming to save you, guys, and no one can be there when you're getting rejected to hold your hand and be like, it's gonna be okay. You are a man. You are self-reliant. We have to get over this rejection fucking fear. And it's not easy. Anyone that tells you it's easy is also lying to you. It's burnt within your genetics. It's in there. So yeah. We got a $5.10 super chat. You get one of these, sir.
Thank you so much, best friend.
Dark Knight Dev for the $5.10 nuke. Men in this generation really need to learn detachment. Here in NYC, a man jabbed his baby mom and his 2-year-old to expiration because of his ego. Yeah. And we call these men, like these thuggish men and violent men more alpha. And I don't see it that way. I see a lack of self-control. Alphas have self-control, man. But whatever. That's just my opinion. Uh Detachment. Women are gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna reject you. They're gonna make fun of you. They're gonna screenshot. And that's what I see on the timeline. Oh, women are gonna screenshot you in the group chat. So the fuck what? I'm still me. I'm still what I do. I still crush it at work. I'm still good at piano. I'm still, I still go to the gym. I'm still awesome. What is a screenshot about what I said to a girl once change that? Oh yeah, I said something silly. I messed up. We're guys. We say dumb stuff all the time. Maybe I was slightly tipsy. Maybe I was a little too horny for my own good. Maybe I thought it was a smart thing to say and it wasn't. Great. Detachment. Great. Oh, you thought it was funny? Great. Cool. Um, that's your problem. That's not mine. I said something dumb. Were you into it? No? Then that's your problem. You're the one that gets to decide. Like I already said what I said. If you don't like me, you are no longer my problem. So yeah, Jumbotron. Also, there's a Jumbotron rule. Again, the notes we trade preclude a lot of the pain you'll get through dating as well. But yeah, detachment. A girl rejecting you doesn't mean you're worthless or you don't, right? Because first off, there's always another girl that can see the awesome in you. And one of the things guys find very strange when they start going out there and dating and stuff is that you'll get rejected by some ugly chick that you really thought, no, she's really gonna be into. There's no way. Like and then she rejects you, and it's like such a hit to your ego, like, wow, this ugly or chubby chick really said no and had an attitude with me, whatever. And then one day you're gonna like beautiful girl this beautiful girl is gonna be so polite to you, and even if she rejects you, it's gonna be the most polite rejection. She's gonna ask you about you. Like, I've had this happen so many times where I interact with a girl that's unattractive, but I'm like, hey, maybe I have a chance, and because she's unattractive, and I talk to her, and she just bitchy behavior, kind of like condescending, and you kind of get halfway through the conversation, and like, I need to get out of here. This sucks, right? Um, but I talked to a beautiful girl. One day I was at the park, and I had just talked to a girl that was like unattractive, and I got kind of an attitude, whatever. Maybe the day before, I think it was either at my pool or wherever. And then I went to the park with my dog, and I'm sitting on the bench, and this beautiful, like Iranian girl, like white skin, long black hair, plump lips, just thin, sweet, talk to me. And I'm just like, what is going on? What is going on right now? And that's just it. It's not about you. And that's guys don't learn that rejection isn't about you until they get rejected by an ugly girl or an unattractive girl. And she could be pretty, but just her attitude, everything's shitty. You thought you had a chance, and just like, oh Jesus, she's terrible. And then they talk to a beautiful girl, and the beautiful girl has manners, is polite, respects their time, whatever. And they're like, wait, what just happened? I'm like, yeah, none of the rejection is about how you see the girl and how you see yourself. Her rejection is so many things that it's not even worth thinking about. And it's sad that guys don't understand that until they finally have this experience. And that's the only way to practice. That's how you learn detachment, really, is realizing that first off, it's a numbers game. You don't know what's going on in a woman's head. You don't know her arrogance and her ego level. And you'll often find that it is more worth to go after pretty women. Once you get over the pretty women, like you're afraid of talking to them and all that stuff. Um, it's better to get over, it's better to spend your time risking it with them, because at least the payout is bigger if things go well, because she's a prettier girl. And they tend to be polite. They're humbled because they compete with other very pretty women for a limited amount of men. And you can be that limited amount of men if you want. But yeah, that's how you practice detachment. It is what it is. So yeah. True, exactly, man. The worst they can say is no. Yeah, and I always like to be kind when I get rejected. Yeah, and when you get rejected, guys, just okay. Well, have a nice day. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to call her a bitch. You don't no, just say, hey, have a nice day. Now, obviously, every man, depending on the culture, your personality is going to have their own way of going about. Like, obviously, we could swap notes about lines and all that stuff. But when it comes down to it, every man's going to have their own way of kind of like talking to women, and that's fine, right? You're a man. You use your creativity, your brain, and all that stuff. Got it. Um, but handling rejection is like one of the best ways you're gonna get laid, because if you're in a friend group and you you ask out a girl immediately, you don't wait 3 months of getting to know her. You ask out a girl immediately, um, and she says no, and you take it in stride. You're like, okay, cool. No, I just thought you were pretty, and I like to get to know you, but no big deal. I hope we can still be friends. It's no big deal. And she still and your friends see that, like, wow, this guy's chill. Like, he's he's not like expecting anything of anyone. He's not entitled, right? Which entitlement is a big turnoff for women. So, um, when it comes down to it, uh, you being able to take rejection is going to open doors, and it can be at any level. Like, let's say you're hooking up with a girl, and then she decides she doesn't want to see you anymore. Instead of taking it personally, you can just be like, well, okay, well, good luck. Don't mess this up with this new guy or whatever. Right. And, like, she may think, wow, that was easy. I was terrified but he seemed to take it in stride. I can trust this guy. He's not obsessed with me. He's not possessive of me. I'll come back to him if things don't work out. And then you'll have a revolving door of women coming in and out of your life You'll always have an option for sex, and that's all it takes is you getting over your ego and your fear of rejection and taking it in stride like a man to the chin. And I talk about it's the cookie in the pocket theory, which I wrote about and I talk about. But yeah, I think the guys that are afraid of rejection haven't even built up the baseline confidence to even approach. Yeah, and that's another thing. They're afraid. Listen, it comes to the point, and a lot of guys maybe can't fathom this. It comes to the point that just having a positive interaction with a pretty girl is enough to make your day as a man. Wow, what a nice girl. Even if she says, "No, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend," or no, like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't," or whatever. Right? Um, it's it's nice. It's nice to talk to somebody. So it also comes down to spinning plates, as the Godfather Tomasi said it many times. It will help on being detached and having. Yeah, and then there's another thing. Like that teaches you that if a girl says no, it's not the end of the world. There's plenty of girls. You already probably have a couple girls that are interested. It's just a numbers game. You're just running the numbers. That's all it is. Ultimately, guys, to conclude, it's that guys giving up of dating for several reasons. But they made these reasons in their head to all kind of get around the fact that they're afraid of rejection. It's hard for them to be afraid to admit to themselves that they're afraid of rejection, right? Because it's an ego thing. It's incompetence, and men do not want to accept themselves as being incompetent. Maybe one day, guys, someone caught me being rejected by a girl a couple years ago. Maybe that will be put up on social media. And the haters, the detractors, the tradcons are going to be like, "Wow, Nuke's really bad with women. He's a big fraud." Right? But I want you guys to pay attention. How did I take that rejection? If in that video, that hypothetical video ever gets released or something, right? I don't think everyone's ever recorded me talking to a woman, but if it gets released, what is going to show you that I've learned that I practice what I preach is how I exit the conversation. If I'm talking to a girl and she says, "No, I'm sorry," like you see a no or whatever, and I say, "Okay, it's fine." I look into her eyes and I'm like, "Okay, it's fine," whatever I say, and I walk away happy, smiling that I just was able to have a good conversation with somebody. That is what this is about. That's how you know I'm real. I'm not trying to show the world that I'm perfect or that I know everything or that I never fail. I'm trying to show the world how to act when the inevitable failure, and yes, most women don't want to have sex with you, get over it. Um, how to act when it happens. And once you accept this, you'll realize that everyone else, that's what they're suffering. Rejection hurt. It will always hurt. But you got to, like the mystery speech on YouTube, you have to jump into the pool of icy water, and it's going to be icy every time. But at least you know after you get out a couple times that it doesn't kill you. It still hurts every time. You're still going to create a little bit of anxiety, but it's not going to kill you. You're still going to live. And that's all you got. There is no other way, guys. You can pay for play, but you only get 10% of what makes women enjoying women awesome. The chase, the you walking up and seeing her in a nice dress that she wore for you, her opening up about her life on a first date, her giggling and laughing at your jokes sincerely, the touching, the escalation, you know, her asking you questions back, her giving you a hard time too, and then you getting the job done. And it was all you, based on the fact that she just liked your vibe. You don't want to get rid of that. You want to enjoy that as much as you can. It is what it is. So that's all you got. You're alone, guys. You're alone in this. But there's a beauty in it. No one cares if you get rejected 100 times. No one's going to even pay attention. No one's going to write a blog about you. There's going to be no YouTube videos about you. Your job's not going to call you or nothing. That's for you. It's a deeply personal journey, and no one can help you. We have notes to trade. We can give you tips and tricks that we've all kind of crowdsourced from each other. But at the end of the day, you have a burden of performance. And part of that burden of performance is you will get rejected by women. So what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Think about that. Really. So All right, guys. That's all I got. Have a good evening, and thank you guys for the super chats, and thanks for watching me. I will see you guys later.